In tonight's news, a minor earthquake rattles the Ottawa Valley, and wanted good program ideas. More on those stories at 11.
Wednesday, March 6th. Tonight on The National, Bush says it's time to end the Arab-Israeli conflict. A citizens' forum with a shortage of citizens. And on The Journal, anatomy of an investigation. How Windsor, Ontario police tracked down a killer. A behind-the-scenes documentary report. The National with Peter Mansbridge.
Good evening. A post-war pledge from U.S. President George Bush tonight, a promise that Washington and the world will work together for a lasting Middle East peace. His speech, delivered to a joint session of the U.S. Congress tonight, was long on patriotism, but it also contained a plan. One the U.S. Commander-in-Chief believes could bring long-term stability to a region that's long lacked it. From Washington, the CBC's Terry Malewski.
Promising that the first American troops would be home within hours, George Bush came to Capitol Hill tonight, not just to rejoice in victory, but to build on it. This president now has unprecedented support at home. The latest poll gives him a 90% approval rating, higher even than Harry Truman at the end of World War II.
Aggression is defeated. The war is over.
Tonight, before the Congress, which supported him nervously at first and then eagerly, Bush swore that Saddam Hussein and those around him will be accountable for the havoc they have wrought. But he held out a hand to the people of Iraq, saying we grieve for them, and promised to work for a comprehensive peace in the whole Middle East.
Our commitment to peace in the Middle East does not end with the liberation of Kuwait.
Bush then described the challenges ahead. Shared security, he said, will involve joint military exercises with nations in the Gulf and a permanent U.S. naval presence. Arms control, Bush said, would mean a continuing arms embargo of Iraq. He also called for economic development, but most significantly, on the Arab-Israeli question, he called for compromise on the principle of territory for peace, clearly referring to the occupied West Bank.
This principle must be elaborated to provide for Israel's security and recognition, and at the same time for legitimate Palestinian political rights. Anything else would fail the twin tests of fairness and security. The time has come to put an end to Arab-Israeli conflict.
Bush also talked about putting the same energy into domestic problems, but he came back to the Gulf War, describing it as a kind of advertisement for American virtues.
I'm sure that many of you saw on the television the unforgettable scene of 4 terrified Iraqi soldiers surrendering. And they emerged from their bunker, broken, tears streaming from their eyes, fearing the worst. And then there was an American soldier. Remember what he said? He said, "It's okay. You're all right now. You're all right now." That scene says a lot about America.
The president is staking a lot in his victory in the Gulf, investing his newfound prestige in the search for a Middle East peace which has seemed remote for more than 40 years. He did not lay out any detailed plan, but by speaking of legitimate Palestinian political rights, of the exchange of territory for peace, and of recognition for Israel, he has sidestepped the contentious issue of a Middle East peace conference, while at the same time inviting both sides to confer about peace. Terry Malewski, CBC News, Washington.